Hello, everyone. It's a beautiful day here at the BYU Family History Library. Thanks for joining us today while we talk about the United States Bureau of Land Management tract books. Congress passed the Land Ordinance Act of 1789 to sell and distribute vast sections of land to private citizens. Surveyors developed the rectangular survey system or public land survey system to uniquely identify each piece of property. An individual would travel to a land office where they would examine large maps to determine what land was available. Once a choice was made, the clerk would record the claim or sale in the appropriate tract book. When an individual had satisfied all of the requirements, they would be issued a land patent. This indicated the transfer of land ownership from the federal government to a private citizen. The Bureau of Land Management General Land Office Records website, or the BLM-GLO website, has an index of all successfully completed patents. It does not have an index to the more than 2 million incomplete homestead applications. As the tract books are unindexed, a finding aid or coverage chart is provided on the Family Search Wiki page, as well as an article explaining the tract books in a more detailed way. Although there are some variations, this is a page from a typical tract book. Tract books contain all transactions for each piece of property until the requirements are satisfied and the government transfers ownership to a private citizen. After that point, all further transactions regarding the piece of property are recorded in the local county deed records. Tract books contain not only the successful transactions, but the unsuccessful transactions as well. Once again, there are more than 2 million abandoned or relinquished homestead applications held at the BLM and the National Archives. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to access these incomplete homestead applications. Now let's locate an individual in the tract books who has a patent listed on the BLM-GLO. The BLM-GLO website has a record for John Rutherford of North Dakota. This provides the file number and shows he successfully filled the requirements of the Homestead Act. It also provides the legal land description that we can use to locate John in the tract books. John Rutherford's land was in Township 154 North, Range 81 West. According to the coverage table, this land should be listed in volume 159 of the Dakota Territory. After hunting and pecking for a bit in volume 154, I found John Rutherford was the fourth person to claim this particular homestead. Now let's move on to finding an individual in the tract books who does not have a patent listed on the BLM-GLO website. Fletcher Wilson appeared on the 1880 U.S. Federal Census in the population schedule. He also appeared on the 1880 U.S. Census agricultural schedule. A search of online newspapers showed Fletcher Wilson did prove up his homestead in the summer of 1883. A name search for Fletcher Wilson was not successful on the BLM-GLO website. The BLM-GLO website allows a search by location. We can use the description found in the newspaper, Section 23, Township 5 South, Range 16 West to search for that particular area. Joseph Edwards, John Ellenberger, Stephen Fry, and Charles Hawkins all have land in Section 23, but Fletcher Wilson isn't listed. Was his claim ultimately denied, or was there a mistake in the newspaper? Was there a mistake on the BLM GLO website's part? Although Fletcher Wilson's name is absent from the BLM GLO website, his homestead fits right in with no conflict. According to the coverage table, this land should be located in volumes 63, 64, or 65 of the Kansas Tract books. After some diligent searching, I was able to find Fletcher Wilson on page 8 of volume 65, with his completed homestead right where the newspaper said it should be. After finding an individual in the tract books, it is always a good idea to read several pages forward and backward to make sure you haven't missed anything. By doing this, I located a second claim made by Fletcher Wilson that was ultimately canceled. This claim has a second and different file number from his completed homestead. It may provide more information about him. Searching for an ancestor without a land description is time-consuming and often not successful. Searching all of Dakota Territory is just not an option. If you can't find a land description, you must ask yourself 4 questions to decide if this research is really worth the time and effort. Number 1, can you establish the individual's residence in a particular county? Can you find a census, marriage, or newspaper record to place them there? 2, is the date after 1862? The effort of trying this is only worth it if there's a possibility of finding an incomplete homestead application. Number 3, was the county being settled at the time when your ancestor was there? And number 4, is this an immigrant ancestor or a brick wall ancestor that you can justify the time and effort on? This is John C. Bennett, and he appeared in the 1880 U.S. Census in Illinois Township of Rush County, Kansas. A historical atlas of Rush County, Kansas provides the township and range number for Illinois Township. After using the coverage table to locate the correct tract book volume and searching the volume page by page, I was able to locate John C. Bennett. I could use this file number to get a copy of his incomplete homestead application from the National Archive if I wished. I will tell you, this technique is time-consuming, frustrating, and more often than not, unsuccessful. I looked at dozens upon dozens of individuals with no success before I found Mr. Bennett and 2 or 3 other individuals that I could show you that the technique worked sometime. If you do decide that it's worth the time and effort to do this type of research, just know that this is a long shot, but it may be worth it to you. Families moved together, helped each other farm, they married each other, they married their neighbors. Using the fan club can provide insights into your family that may surprise you. I know quite a bit about Clarence L. Christ and his homestead in Kit Carson County, Colorado, but I wanted to find him in the tract books. Imagine my surprise when I found Clarence in the tract books and 2 of his brother-in-laws living very close together. Both Roy and Addison Kreitz gave up their Colorado homestead for land in Oregon by 1910. But I can get a copy of their homestead applications by using the numbers listed in the tract book. We've talked today about several ways to find an individual in the United States Bureau of Land Management tract books. We hope this information is helpful to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to visit our BYU Family History Library homepage to find more about our in-person consultations, our many resources, short family history research videos on a variety of topics, and our in-depth webinars by our experts. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.